All right, you guys, I'm back. Greetings. Thank you for stopping by here on TikTok Live. Okay, this is going to be a quickie here for some of you that are saying, why can't they just dot, dot, dot? Okay, so I'm going to stall out a little bit, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. I know I'm like up close, like I zoomed in, right? At first I had it far back, and now you guys are zoomed in. So I'm bringing you all closer, okay? But anyway, thank you for stopping by. Whoever sent me a flower, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. It's, what is this, September the, what, 7th or 8th, I think, 2022. Anywho, I'm not going to waste time on intros. I'm just going to jump straight away into what I'm here for. So I hear it, I can hear it echoing, okay, but it's a common question. Why can't they just dot dot dot? Why can't they just leave you alone? Why can't they just go away? How come why come? Why come? How come they can't just you know what I'm saying? Those are common questions a lot of people start to ask on this journey. When you start to awaken, you're going through the dark nights of the soul, when you're trying to change your life, and you know, you're asking all these questions about everything because the illusions are shattering. So as you are trying to make the changes in your life, you start to ask, how come these people just can't fucking leave you alone? Like, what to you, what's so hard about that? How come they can't just go away like regular, you know, like sane people, right? How come they just can't just be like, go away, you know? Okay. Some of y'all wonder, if you're familiar with a little short that I've done a long time ago that I called Hoe Eraser. It was a bitch be gone, Hoe Eraser by Bloomy. And it was this picture. I'm never going to forget that. I was in tears laughing so hard because I thought it was a product that I saw when I was shopping. And I didn't, it was bent. So somebody had messed with it. So I couldn't see the full, it was actually a shoe eraser. Okay. But I didn't see that. Okay. They had it bent to where it looked like it said Hoe Eraser. I swear I laughed so hard. And I squinched my eyes. I was like, we ain't got them kind of products, bitch. I know we're advanced, but damn. It had Hoe Eraser. And so I was like, the fuck? And so I made a spin on it. I was like, just add a little water and a dash of this and that, bitch be gone, Hoe Eraser, right? By Bloomy. And I was like, do you have a pest in your life? Do you have, so. It's called Bitch Be Gone, Hoe Eraser by Bloomy. Now, I'm making it funny and I'm laughing to, kind of lighten the energy because I know that some of you are seriously, like on a serious tip, like kind of just scratching your head and really tired of dealing with shit because you're kind of like, well, how come people just can't go away? Life happens. Shit happens. People, you know what I'm saying? If looking at things from that perspective, like shit happens. We make mistakes. People choose to go down different paths. People choose, it's the name of the game. Okay? Slavery times, you know what I'm saying, ended in 18, whatever the fuck. But you know what I'm saying? It's like people can choose, even if we don't like their choice, even if we don't agree with their choice or their selection, we could, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, I want to extend my heartfelt love and light and apologies to those of you who are on an ascension path. And it's got you just kind of like stumped because you're starting to see the reality versus the illusion. Okay, you're starting to see how far people will go, even people that's your own kin. Okay, so you're starting to realize, like, what's wrong with what's wrong with these motherfuckers? How come people can't just let go? and be mad. Okay, if they want to be mad, then be mad. But how come they can't just let go? If they want to be hurt, be hurt. But how come they can't just be hurt and let go? If they want to be upset. But how come they can't just be upset and let go? If they disagree, disagree. But how come they can't just disagree and let go? See, those are the energies some of you are in. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm here to tell you why. I'm here to talk about it. Because I had to go down the same path. The reason why I'm here to tell you, because I had to ask those same questions and I had to figure it out too. Okay? I was asking those same questions. How come motherfuckers can't just go somewhere with their goddamn life? In other words, stop fucking with you. Right? Energetically, mentally, spiritually, literally, physically, emotionally, social medially, personally, professionally, whichever way people, right? I asked that question because look, let's just get it. I'm going to put it plain and simple out here on the table. Don't get it twisted. Just like everybody else on this earth, Bloomy has her thoughts and opinions about a whole lot of shit too. Just like everybody else on this earth, I don't necessarily like and or agree with the choices and the paths that other people are taking. Do you hear me? Just like everybody else on earth, I have my views. I have my pet peeves. I have my preferences. I have, just like everyone else, I have my own personal convictions, just like everyone else. I have individuals that I don't necessarily like, just like everyone else on earth. But I don't have to be bothered with them. That's called maturity. I don't have to inject myself into their world. I don't have to care. Honestly speaking, I don't have to care. I don't have to inject myself into their world. I don't need to go to their house, their church, their business, they what, nothing. If I don't want to, I don't have to be on their social media. I don't have to, go to business A, B, C, or D at location 1, 2, 3 if I don't want to. So essentially, I know how to what? Separate myself from or without intruding on them. I know how to walk away. Let's say people that I feel like did not treat me a certain kind of way. Well, walk away, right? So I had to ask the same question. So if I'm able to do that, then how come they can't just leave me alone? If I'm able to take an L, if you will, which turns out to be something totally different than what we think it is. But for shits and giggles, if I'm able to do that, then how come they can't leave me alone? Think about that. I'm sure you guys are already thinking. Your sheer existence bothers them. That should be a number one sign that something is wrong with those individuals. You understand? Your sheer existence bothers them. What does that say to you? If you are able to literally walk away, in other words, you stop fucking with them, you stop calling them, you ain't on a social media, you ain't at a job, bitch, you ain't trying to show up at the places they at, bitch, like whatever the fuck. If you were able to do that, and yet and still these individuals, that's your sign, and hopefully for you to take for yourself to realize the reason why they can't just leave you alone is because they're crazy. If you've managed to do this, and yet They're still stalking you and social media. They're still getting together in groups. They're still, you know what I'm saying, doing rituals, this and ritual that, and they still stealing this and that, and they still blah, 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 la, la, la. They still, you know, whoop-de-woo, trying to, okay? And that's why they're not well, dear. And I'm here to just hopefully help you all to get there a lot quicker than I did. Okay? The reason why they can't just, because they're just not well. And we don't need a clinician. Okay? That would require people going in and sitting in a clinician's office. We don't need a clinician. The reason why they can't stop obsessing is because they are not well. The reason why they can't just go on and leave you alone, because for some of you, it's that simple. Because some of you have made the decisions to walk away from everything. You've cut your losses. Congratulations if you've done that. It takes guts. Some of you have cut your losses and said, I will walk away from all of it. I don't want the car, bitch. I don't want the house, bitch. I want the snacks. I don't want the insurance, bitch. I don't care. I don't want the clout. I don't want the nothing. Some of you all have decided to take the loss. That's because you have a level of sanity remaining inside of you. Okay? You have a level of sanity that they obviously do not. Where you've said, I'd rather lose it all for my peace to have you the fuck out of my life. I'd rather lose it all. I'd rather lose all this so-called cushy life, cloud, connections, bitch, snacks, weed, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, bitch. And if that's you, congratulations to you. But then there's a part of you as you're trying to recover your life. You're trying to heal. You're trying to make sense of it all. You're trying to gain your bearings. And you still know that you can still sense and feel these degenerates. Okay? Especially those of you who know that you were dealing with dark witches and warlocks. And I don't care if they hide it, but you know it. Okay? Or those that just got some major mental problems with imported wigs, okay? And you figured it out and you're like, fuck it. But you still feel their energy. You're like, you're shaking your head. You probably shake your head every day. Like, this is unbelievable. Am I being punked? Am I on a TV show? Because who does this? Who acts like that? But what? Someone what? Say it. Finish the sentence for yourself. Someone unwell. And it's not for you to feel sorry for them. That's not what you need. They're used to being able to do that. And it's not a question of their intelligence. And I need to keep saying that because I think people feel like that's where I'm going. But actually, I'm not. Some of these people are highly intelligent. But they're still off their rocker. Okay? These are people with deep-rooted, okay? Because listen to me. We've all, oh God. We all came here to deal with trauma. We all have had to deal with the very similar issues that these individuals have. The difference is sound versus unsound, light versus dark, all this stuff. It's the make or break. It's the determining factors. Relatively healthier sound people or those of lighter energy, light, they don't really stay stuck in that frequency. They'll go through their initial phases like any other leading human being, okay, when it comes to disappointments. But they opt into taking that and going in a different direction, okay? They opt into that form of it. Like, okay, yes, I'm hurt. Yes, I'm mad. Yes, I'm disappointed. Yes, they betrayed me. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. You know, they take it. But then they ain't chasing the motherfuckers still. They ain't on the social media, bitch. They ain't trying to kill bitches and shit. They ain't on some crazy cuckoo. You know, they're not on that shit. They ain't trying to steal and copy and paste. Like, all that energy should be doing like this, like neon lights to people. Something's wrong with them. Something's wrong with them. Something's wrong with them. Something's wrong. Because who does that? So I'm sorry. And I know it'll be a lot easier if people were able to just let you go. But I'm a living testament of what people do to you that that you walk away from and is refusing to let you go because they can't. They figure if they can't have your energy, if they can't be in your life, then they're going to attempt to still steal from you, and then they're going to attempt to sabotage you. That's a sick mind. Whether this is friends, listen to me. I'm talking about anybody, guys. So I'm sorry they can't just go away. I'm talking about this is people you used to fuck with, that you had sex with, that you dated, that was your friend, that was a potential that you worked with, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they whole ass, you know what I'm saying, can't seem to go the fuck somewhere, bitch. With yourself in your life, motherfucker. I'm sorry. It's just because I've been where you guys are, where you sit and you go, you scratch your head like, bitch. And this is pertaining to men and women. Okay, this is not biased here. Where you're like, go somewhere, shit, with yourself. Okay, you hate me, good. Well, very well then, as you wish. But go on about your life with that energy. How about that? Okay, you hate, okay, great. That's your prerogative. Now, stay the fuck out of my reality. They can't, collective. Okay, I'm sorry. If that's what you've been waiting for, like holding your breath for, and because see, I was there once upon a time. Okay, I thought that if I just walked away, listen to me. I figured no matter how heartbroken I was at the betrayals that I have survived at the hand of my kinfolk and other motherfuckers, I thought, okay, that if I just fucking went away, just go away and create your life. Fuck it. Because that's me. That's divine feminine all day. That's that mountain goat. That's me all day, every day, all day. Go on somewhere else and build your life. Fuck it. You ain't got to argue. You ain't got to have now another conversation, bitch. You ain't got to go to the picnic, bitch. You don't got to go to a funeral, bitch. You don't got to do nothing. Just go somewhere with your life and create it on your terms. So I figured if I would just do that, then, sure, since they didn't want me around anyway, right? See, my logic, probably much like yours, collective. My logic was, look, if you think I'm this and that, you know what I'm saying, whoopty, then you shouldn't be all that damn bothered then at my absence. You shouldn't be all that damn bothered. It shouldn't bother you now a little bit. You shouldn't be upset. You shouldn't be hurt. You shouldn't be nothing, blah, blah, blah. It should be good riddance for you. It should be happiness, sunshine, and rainbows then. So you go on about your life and I go on about mine. but that's not their frequency. They may say that to perpetrate. Y'all know how this shit go. Because if that was the real deal, they wouldn't have still been fucking with you. They would have been able to sit with the fact that they don't like you, or they don't agree with you, or whatever the issue is, yet go on in life without needing to fuck with you in any way. The simple fact that people are incessant on fucking with you, collective, whether this be with your world and your creation, whether this be people stalking you, cyber stalking, trolling, bullying, conning, thieving, frauding, spell word curses, rumor, smear campaign, fuckery, whatever it is. The answer is, as you're asking yourself, how come they can't just go away? Since I went away, how come they can't just go away and leave me and my life alone? Because they're not well. I'm going to keep saying that. You're wanting unwell people to behave like they're well. And I've been there. You're wanting unwell souls to behave as if they were. And I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I wish I had something else. But hopefully this gets you out of that part where you keep being like kind of stuck and you going, I don't get it. You know. You be like, can't people create a life? Like you go through all these questions. I know I did that. I was like, well, I was scratching my head. Then I was like, I don't get this. Because these people be greedy people, selfish people. It don't be because they don't have or, you know, these are just mentally disturbed people that are greedy, gutless, spineless, heartless, and selfish. And they don't like seeing, you know, people independent of them have their own happiness and success. A side of them, a side of how they want to utilize that in some way. If they can't have it that way, then they want to destroy it. That's the mind of a psychopath. You guys understand that? That is a mind of a sociopath. We don't need to have a clinician or to have somebody have some type of a diagnosis. Because there's some fuckery and all this shit too. That's another video. These people that I'll call nuisance and pests, okay, is because they're not well. That's your final answer. You're not going to get another answer. You can shuffle the cards, bitch. You can roll the dice, be like, bitch, bitch, it's going to still be the same, bitch. It's going to still be the same. Going to be like, why this bitch? This cousin say the whole crazy, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's never going it's never going to change, y'all. I'm trying to make y'all laugh. I'm trying to make this shit funny because it's ridiculous. We go through those phases of flattery. Initially, maybe you're flattered until you realize that it ain't a laughing matter. It ain't nothing to be flattered about. When people are obsessive with you to such a degree to toxicity, when it starts hurting your life, it no longer is something to be like all puffy about. Like, ooh, they so hung up over me, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm no, you ain't feeling like that when they crazy, when the bitch, you know what I'm saying, and fucked up your whole get up. Now it's no longer it's no longer, ooh, they so obsessed with me. It's like, this is crazy. What the fuck did I do? And why won't they just leave me alone? Now, I'm going to say this in the most loving way because it's something I have to say to me too. Hopefully it's all about lessons and journey, right? So once we can grab that, like, okay, so what have you learned from this, Blooming? Okay. What did you learn? Now, in the case where it had to do with your kinfolk, okay, this was all a part of the plan and the blueprint anyway for you to come in and awaken and heal through and get some spine, some backbone, some boundaries, but also call bullshit. Because if there was these patterns, ancestral wounds of hiding bullshit, you're here to expose the bullshit. Hiding the mental illness, hiding, dark witches and warlocks in your bloodline. If that was the case, these vows of silence, then, you came here essentially to say, I see ya. You thought you was going to hide forever. Like, you came here to expose it. But this is equally a part of why they can't leave you alone. They were always obsessed with you. They've always been obsessed, and you've always felt them in your energy in a very negative way. They've always been hovering about your energy, even when you walk away, bitch. Right? Smell them. You see them in your social media. They use their children for it. They use their children, they use their friends and the church motherfuckers. You know what they're doing. And you know why? See, it's clear. It becomes clear to you because only unwell individuals, you hear me, gonna invest in this manner. People that are healthy, whole, sound, and sane ain't got no time because Sally Sue Slut came in the building, bitch. Crying. Because first and foremost, they're mature enough to understand there's always more to things than meets the eye. 1. There's always more to the story. 2. They understand that. And first and foremost, they also understand choice, life and choice. So they ain't got no time to be investing. But again, those are sound individuals. Ain't got time for that. They too busy somewhere creating their own shit. I'm just saying, they don't have time for that. They're too busy creating their own shit. They're too busy on they preaching, whatever they sermon supposed to be, bitch, or they own Reiki Center, bitch, or, you know what I'm saying? They just too busy in doing the works of their life and what they're here for than to, because Sally Sue's, crybaby come in the office. Talking about, I know that you probably cause most of this fuck shit. That's what I do know. They ain't gonna tell you that part. They gonna come with the tears. They ain't gonna tell you. And see, that's another adult, mature mind. That's a natural part of becoming into maturity, not just chronologically aging. Children and young adults may not fully have that functioning properly. But growing into that maturity, you realize, like, wait a minute, I'm not in 7th grade. We don't do gang stalking. Like, that ain't our thing, bitch. We grown, bitch. We grown. Other motherfuckers grown. Okay. If you're having legal issues, you need to consult legalities. But we're not about that. Okay, we're healthy, whole, sound adults. we don't do that. It's against the law, and we just certainly don't do it. Now you can get some legal counsel if you got legal issues, bitch. Depending on the arena, they'll be like, "Well, pray, bitch," or we'll do the Reiki, but they don't get themselves involved. They don't do that. Sound individuals. the reason why they can't let go. The reason why they can't, just because most of them are narcissistic on some spectrum, whether it's the softer side or the more malignant side, but some form of narcissism. Mental illness, narcissism, dark witches, and warlocks. I mean, come on. Why do people do that shit to begin with? That should answer your question. Especially for those types, okay? Why do they resort to that? Why do they even play with it? Those that try to, you know, tried to act like it was a funny and fun. This is cute joke and Halloween thing. The whole no the fuck, bitch. No the fuck. If we man, if we grown past a certain age, we shouldn't be fucking, you know what I'm saying, knowing a little bit better than that. Like, look, bitch. Like, we ain't finna do no, what is you, 12, bitch? We not finna do no, let's pretend, bitch. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. I'd rather not incur some karma on my ass, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's and that's my energy. I came here, and it's probably because I am an old soul, and I've already had to work through a lot of karmic lessons in other lifetimes. So I came this one on an ascended path. That's probably why I have that attitude. But listen, it ain't because it'd be like, fuck that. I've been like this since I was a little kid, you guys. I promise you. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or I didn't do shit wrong. That's not what I'm implying here. I'm talking about, you know, when it comes to maliciously, willfully, and intentionally, that kind of energy. Okay? Out of my own ego and my own whatever the fuck. Okay? I've always been this energy like, look, bitch. I've been like, look, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, God, source, like whatever the language was of the season, bitch, where I was at in life. I was all like, nah, I'm good. Because I always understood subtly. I may not have had it figured out, but I did understand on a subtle basis that, you know what, be careful. Okay? Careful what you are projecting. Careful of what you are doing to others based on whatever the fuck you think you are, or whoever the fuck you think you are, or whatever your mindset and your framework is, or whatever your issue is. Careful. Because if that individual, you know full well that that individual ain't done nothing personally to you, you better fucking be careful. Whether you like them or not. Whether you agree with them or not, because chances are, like the very text in which most of these people read, chances are you're entertaining a light one, earth angels, and not even fucking know it. They quote this shit all day, but see, it's all stories to them. Careful, right? That was my attitude. So in other words, what am I trying to say? I had the attitude of I'd rather walk away from people. If it comes down to, you know, some type of situation where there's an irreconcilable differences, and not just pertaining to marriage. I'm just saying where there's a situation where, you know what, this can't be healed. This, because it takes two and all parties involved to be in a frequency conducive for true healing. If somebody is still on fuck shit and they still in the illusion and still trying to perpetuate the illusion, then there will be no healing in that connection. In fact, they will continue on the scheduled program as the Terminator, hell-bent on trying to slow you down, stop you, and sabotage you in some way. I've learned, and hopefully you guys can catch where I'm going. You probably already have Okay, fine. When this happens, walk away. Cut them off. Now they get mad, absolutely. And that's what you suffer, what I call the backlash. After you've made your decisions and after you have, put those boundaries up and cut people off, then this is stirred up even more than it already was. Because they were always doing crazy shit. But they get upset because the access level changed. The access level, especially if you uprooted and moved towns, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these folks are that damn obsessive. And if you know you're dealing with these people, you can bet your bottom dollar they're always driving by your house and your work saying some shimmy, shimmy. You can bet your bottom dollar. I'm letting you know now. If you know you're dealing with dark witches and warlocks that swore they were not into it and projected it onto a divine feminine, chances are there's always this scapegoat. The divine feminine done left the building. The hole is somewhere else, bitch. The whole oh, somewhere else. She way somewhere else. Because why? Like what I'm telling you. She has the maturity level. She knows how to take the L. And she knows how to walk away, go somewhere and heal and create. Now, she will come after you in fury. Okay, this is absolutely truth. It's divine energy still. It's still divinity. Because now it turns into treason. It turns into a violation of her right. Of her energy. Okay, and then she gonna whoop wigs off. She's going into the ethers. It's going down. That's how she gonna roll. She gonna roll with that till she take her last breath. She gonna roll. Okay. But it ain't got nothing to do with her not letting go. She lets go. The issue is the people got the issue. She now realizes the reason why they have the issues because they can't let her go, whether they're admitting this or not. They can't let her life go, her energy go, whatever the fuck benefits, bitch, the sacrifice, bitch, the shit they did with the motherfuckers, and all they ask is going to be fried 2022, bitch. But, I'm sorry, I bet y'all like, this lady, Bloomy is something else. She sound like fucking Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, shit. It's crazy. In a good way, right? Because that's the way I feel. I got into a place where I just call it. It hurt, it bugged, it made absolutely no sense whatsoever to me. Because what else do people want? See, this is that fire, you guys, that hear come out. Because it's like, what else do the motherfuckers want? Because you get to a point like, what else, bitch? Okay? Oh, you want it to be, look, bitch. Look. You want it so goddamn bad. You done sold your whole get up. You done sold your whole possible existence, bitch. As you will. Very well. Now leave me the fuck alone. What else is the issue? That's because they're not well. Okay, it's like, bitch, you wanted a nigga. Okay, well, don't be mad at me because the shit turned, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy what the links people go to. You wanted money at all costs? Even your freedom, chances are, because some of you finna be on the clank, bitch, okay? Or your kids on the clank, bitch. Why? You wanted it that damn bad. Very well. Now go somewhere. You see where I'm going with that? This should be your main highlighter as you all are sitting and reflecting, that the very fact that they can't do that is all you'll ever need to know. You don't need now another confirmation. You don't need now another reading or prayer meeting. You don't need now another fact or proof. The fact that These types of people can't simply do that. That's all you need. To answer the question, can you fix it? You cannot fix it. Divine beings, I don't care if you're divine feminine or masculine or whatever level, degree, bitch we think we're on in this life, that's not even in the contract, and it's above our pay grade, for lack of better words. That's not the contract. That's not what we're here to do. Just like you have a free will, as do they. They choose to opt into the lower frequencies. That is their decision. They opt into the illusions and the appearance of so-called healing. That is also their decision. But you ain't here to, I'm fixing to make them wake up and heal. No, you're not. No, you're not. I promise you. Divine Feminine has been sending love and light energy to individuals for a long time, and they still crazy. And they still commence to do ritual work on her and her children. So what does that say? They energy harvest, but they're not transforming. They never intended to. They want an energy harvest off of good energy to create, because they can't create properly on their own. This is why people do spell work, by the way. When I speak of spell work in this way, I'm talking about people who navigate the world of energy. They understand energy. And instead of using it in the sense in alignment with universal law, which is to co-create your own personal world in a healthy way by your ascension, not by violating another. Okay? That's order. Now, they can't do that, so they opt into the other form of it, which is harvest other people's energy, steal people's creativity, cloak and mimic, low keys, cast a spell, bitch, Ursula, sea witch, you know what I'm saying? Abracadabra, hocus pocus. Energy work, magic, if you will, was always meant in divinity, benevolence, if you are of benevolence, that is. Because if you're not, well, I don't even need to finish that. Because not everybody is of light. Sorry, not sorry. It's the truth anyhow. And I'm not talking about a religion and a belief system, because all of that's fuckery. I'm talking about the frequency of the soul, the vibration, the operation. Your heart, your motives, your intentions, what you do behind the scene when nobody's looking at you, when you think nobody will ever know, when you feel like nobody on earth is going to ever find out. That's who you are. That's who you are. Not Sunday, Susie Sunday. Okay? Singing, oh, blessed be. You, not you, it's blessed ain't. Not you. They can't just, because for a lot of you all, the individuals that you know or once knew are not actually even operating in there anymore. It's just their skin now. I'm sorry. This is what makes it painful. I get it. Painful to understand, painful to swallow, painful to process. In some cases, painful to even accept. But to what degree and at what cost are you going to subject yourself? You know, you have to start asking those questions as well. We're not here to be the sacrifice. This is exactly what they wanted us to be, if you're a divine feminine and masculine. To be the sacrifice so that they can step in your shit with ease. It's easier to do if they can kill you off, right? Whether even if they make it look like an accident. I know my people are behind a lot of deaths, I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm aware of each one of them. Yep, that has been revealed to me. But you would never know it because in this 3D, most of this stuff looked like happenstance, okay? People's kids, young adults will get into weird car accidents, and then they'll do a GoFundMe page on Instagram and Facebook and shit. Because they're trying to appear like they were not a part of it, or they are loving and all that shit. Yes, that actually happens. Let me tell you why. Because some of you may be wondering, well, why does it happen sometimes and it doesn't happen other times? Or they were behind, you know, this, that, and the other death. And then if they were doing death rituals on, you know, this one and divine feminine, blah, 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 how come? Let me explain. This is why I keep pushing. I know I'm all over the place here, but hopefully you guys can grab what's for you. Some people's health couldn't handle these ritual works anymore. Okay, this is why the aged or the sick, okay, or where there's no protection put up, no defense, energetic shield or anything like that, it's easier for it to start to work, especially if somebody already had a relatively bad health. If they already had a relatively bad health, then shit could kick in quick. Okay? But this is equally why people don't be believing that they were a part of any kind of fuckery. Because it's like, oh no, they were old, they were going to die anyway. Well, they may not have died that way and then. Oh, they had cancer, it was terminal, they were going to die anyway. Sure they were. Sure. But it don't mean, you know, don't mean there was some foul play for the cancer to be there to start. Don't mean that it was no foul play, that they weren't sending distorted energies to the motherfuckers to begin with to get them in that condition, mother dearest. Your mother know what you did. Now, this is why, you know, some people will die and, you know, all of that, okay? And then if it's divine feminine and masculine start to work on their health and well-being, it's why they attack your health and well-being. If you start working on your health and well-being, it puts up even a stronger defense against their fuckery. This is why they get mad. So this is why they start doing what? Phase 2. Hiring hitmen. Let me stir some mess up with some degenerate retard somewhere. Let me stir some up with somebody from back in, you know, 1985, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Let me stir some drama and some lies so I can get them to come do some fuckery for me that they gonna pay for. Oh, that they gonna pay for. Because they have a free will to get involved and do fuck shit or not. But this is why they conjure this shit up as well. So if the spells aren't working, then they're conjuring up some other shit. Let's you know, create a fake profile and put divine feminine's information and say this bitch. Let's go over here and say divine feminine said that and this bitch. Let's go over here and get, you know, these 4 motherfuckers that are my flying monkeys to co-sign and say she did this bitch. Let's get over here and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and then so we can go over there crying and some divine feminine is just so being so not right, okay? Divine feminine was like totally trying to hurt me and my children. Basically, they're telling on themselves. And see, if people wake up and get smarten the fuck up, they'll realize that you're telling on yourself. This is you. You're telling me who you are. It's you. Because what we know and gather about divine feminine, it ain't nothing like that. In fact, it seems like she's been trying to run away from y'all whole ass a long time ago. So, and this ain't sounding right. This ain't sounding right at all. Sound like you. That's mental illness, by the way. To run around the Americas telling people that an innocent life that they did the fucked up shit too, that they did it to them, they're going to pay exponentially for this. And the people that's actually still dumb enough to buy that shit and get involved, them too, they get a lot because they have a free will and need to learn how to activate it and remove themselves from 12th grade, okay? We don't do that. We ain't in 12th grade, bitch. You need to handle your affairs on your own. You have a problem with divine feminine, face her like a boss. You have a problem with her? Face her then. Not in no disguise profile, bitch, or not one of your flying monkeys that you get to go on her shit. Not by going to 12 church ladies' houses and shit, bitches. They can't do shit for you. They get too involved, they're going to get a nice little smell, little taste of that themselves. Keep on. They can't because they're not well. And not well in the sense of we all got issues that we're dealing with. Hell, if you've been traumatized, I can promise you, you're working through traumatic issues. But that's very, very vastly different from having a narcissistic malignancy and severe mental illness and toxicity. Totally different. It's an energy, it's a frequency. They don't know how to take the L. That's the best way I can put it. People that's used to being able to bully their way throughout life. Just think of it this way, guys. I don't care if they're smiling and talking in soft monotones or hushed tones, bitch. That's another trick. Oh, they'll take down guard if I'm, I got an apron on and I'm always got a bowl and some mix in my hand and some fucking, that illusion shit. They'll believe me if I'm so soft-spoken. I'm so empath and so sensitive. Damn empaths. Empaths don't operate like that. Save it. Empaths have respect. They understand energy. They respect other people, whether they are different than them or not. They even respect people that don't like them. They know how to remove themselves. So you ain't no damn empath. I'm sensitive. Yes, this is the problem. It's a mental problem. You play with a little bit too much black magic for too many years. It's catching up. So they can't just leave you alone. Don't hold your breath hoping that, oh, well, maybe if they find somebody else. That's another thing that a lot of us was kind of like, well, if they find somebody else that they think is better, and if they find, if they get all of these earthly things that they're so obsessed with having, if they get, all this clout that they wanted so damn badly, if they get it, then they'll leave you alone. They'll never leave you alone because your existence is what's bothering them. Because sadly enough, some of these people feel like that they won't be able to be happy until you're gone, until they have destroyed you. It ain't enough that you, say fine, they don't want to be bothered that you move yourself out of the equation, moving yourself out of the equation, moving yourself out of the way, saying, fair enough, you don't got to fucking be here. I don't got to be there. You don't have to be here. We don't have to like each other. We ain't got to talk to each other. We ain't got to nothing. But that ain't enough for these type of people because they're not well. So they try to act like they're not doing shit, but that's only to keep other people connected to them. So they deny that they're dark witches and warlocks. My bloodline denies this, but they are. Yes, the fuck they are. And they deal with those who do that kind of shit. All of them are on my list, by the way. But yes, the fuck they are. But so this is why they ran as quickly as they could to church folks. This was also ill-advised. Because see, they be thinking like, I'll run a church if I cry on the altar, bitch. See, I know them. They think they know me. I know them. But I know them even deeper than that on a soul level. I ascended. I know them. I know their visual. I know what they've been doing lifetime after lifetime. I know they came here to try to destroy the bloodline, to try to destroy the starseeds and earth angels that carnated into the bloodline. This is why they're waiting. The ones that their bodies couldn't take it anymore, and they went on, they got some for that ass. They're already celebrating. They're like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. Because they tried to make a fool of Divine Feminine, but this is going to be interesting. When this moment, when that clicks, and they realize that they're no longer connected to their body, they're going to be in awe. They're going to be in awe. Like, oh, holy hell, bitch. Holy hell, this motherfucker. God damn it, bitch. And they gonna be like, oh, bitch. And they're gonna be negotiating with Anubis and them. They're gonna be negotiating with the ancestors. I already know how this shit's supposed to play out. This is why they can't just. I had to swallow this big old gulp myself. Like, whoop. This is why they're dark witches and warlocks. Their souls are depraved. They came here to try to stop the ascension of the bloodline. They came here to try to keep that same karmic cycle going generation after generation. They came here to continue to steal legacies and to continue secret society shit, to continue perpetuation of religion while doing malicious, heinous shit and then putting on all white thinking that's going to change some shit, bitch. It ain't changing shit. Because it ain't an outfit. This is something that goes over all most people's heads. It's not about no damn outfit. It's your life. You know, outside of see some of these people, let me on sidebar, pause, freeze frame, bitch. Some of these motherfuckers, okay? They've gotten to a place where they can't maybe party the same way. So they feel like, you know, oh, I'm living clean. That's because you have to, bitch. So save that as well. Because you have to, bitch. Because ain't nobody even trying. Okay? But they, you know, some of them, that's something that they hide behind. Well, no, you know, I'm not drinking anymore. And that some of that be lies too, by the way. I'm just going to go ahead and add that. I'm not drinking anymore. I'm not smoking this anymore. I'm not clubbing anymore. I'm not doing anything. You're still a lying cunt. You're still doing dark magic, though. You're still sending evil eye. Your heart is still full of darkness. And if somebody could look through it, it'll be empty and it'll have a tumbleweed, bitch, flowing through that bitch. So you can say that as well. You see, when you come to my house, see all of my artifacts, bitch. You see all my big dictionary Bible, bitch, on the table. You see Black Jesus on the wall, bitch, with the whole crew and shit. But you're still a gossip. You still hating on your own. You're still co-signing fuckery. You still ain't operating in justice and fairness. So say that as well. You know, I go to church every Sunday. I'm the deacon or the deacon, the first deacon of the last group, bitch, to the 12th hour. And I am the one that tells them where to go sit, bitch. And you're still mean as hell. Still judgmental. Hypocrites. So save that as well. You're still money hungry. You're still a sellout. You can still put on your outfit all you want, but you'll sell out if they tell you they'll give you $50 a month to sell out Divine Feminine. We'll give you this much of the insurance. We'll get an insurance policy, bitch. We're going to get some insurance policy, and then when we kill them or set them up, we'll give you, half of that, bitch. And then you could have them, you could, what I'm saying, whoop-de-whoop. But you'll never know it. They go to church on Sunday. They talk to all the friends and fam from back in the day that don't know shit about shit and don't know nothing about nothing and don't know about what the fuck is really going on. Hoping that these people will remember them in the illusionary senses of them from back in the day. That is no longer even there. Whoever you thought that was, you went to Linwood High School with. Whoever you thought that was, you went to Dominguez High School with. That ain't them. Lurking about that soul. Whoever you thought that you was in the Sounders drill team and drum squad with, that ain't them. Whoever you thought that was in Linwood's high school choir, that ain't them. Whether you want to believe it or not. These motherfuckers projected every ounce of their distortion onto me and like divine feminines and masculines. Every bit of it. They can't stop. So as they're going about talking with you all, your first clues is already in your face. It's been in your face. They've been doing spells on you, by the way. They've been doing it. Like I said, these people are behind many deaths. They plague on the aged and disabled and elderly, or those that are not physically well, because their magic will work a lot faster. It works faster. Especially if those individuals don't have their own form of practice, or, you know what I'm saying? So it works faster to take them out. And then this is what's sick. You guys better catch up. What's insidious about it is then they're there in your face acting like they want to console you. They're creating GoFundMe pages and all sorts of shit and putting quotes and posts on social medias to convince you that they are loving and supportive and all, you know, there for you, and they were a part of it. I am 100% convinced that one of my kinfolk's friends from Linwood High School, there's actually two I'm convinced about, that my kinfolk has some fuckery. There's two of them. And I feel sad and bad for them because they were her loyal friend. Her loyal friend, man. But because of her lack of healing and dealing with herself, her own insecurity and jealousy, even towards her own friends, that she hid. She hid it. There are two specifically, I know for sure. I'm 100% convinced. Two. And it makes my stomach sick. There was one that went to, actually both of them went to Linwood High School. One was extremely smart young woman at that time. I mean, she's not a young woman now, but you know, she was a smart young woman. She had made a I won't say mistake, but you know, she had a child early, but she was still a smart woman. Okay. And she educated herself, and that was her life. That was her path. And my kin was always secretly jealous of that. So I believe without a doubt that she commenced spell work on this particular friend to have it hard, so that she can look like the big one and the hero and the successful one. That particular friend relocated to Sodom and Gomorrah as well. And things were never quite the same for them either. It was a lot of hardship, but I don't think it's due to what people think it is. It's behind my kinfolk. While she tried to appear to be the one that's trying to help everybody. She flirted with this particular friend's husbands, but projected it and turned it around and then went back and told the other friend from Linwood High School that was in their same clique. She wanted people to think that everybody was always pining over her, you know, flirting with her. And she was, first and foremost, she was probably doing a spell on them to get them to fucking do it. Messy. And then say, but don't say nothing and don't tell nobody. And you're talking about these very friends. And I know that these two particular friends, I know that those two were actually loyal to her. I'm aware of that. I know who they are. Loyal to her. They all have their issues, but they were loyal to her. They wouldn't have never done something like that to her. The other one, I feel like there's deaths, you know, in a situation with the other friend. I still feel like my kin is involved in that. And it's sad. And collective, I'm sharing all this because chances are you are in similar scenario and you're asking the question of how come they can't just ... These are the types of individuals, they're attention whores. They don't like other people getting attention. That's why they targeted me. They didn't like that people we grew up with, people that they dated, People were making comments. So what did she do? Attacked my physicality, attack what I do, try to discredit me, try to make me appear crazy, use religion because she knew that most of our background and the people that we deal with are held eyeballs deep and rooted in man-made religion. Whether they fully live in it to themselves or not, because most of them aren't. Promise you, most of them not. Promise. Bet. They keep triangulation going. They keep, you know what I'm saying? This is why it's always hard to pin them down. If you were to ask them to get in a group with everybody to clear the air, they wouldn't do it. Bet you. Y'all can even actually bet, oh, Bloomy Bloom on that. Bet. They wouldn't do it. And that is a reveal of who they really are and what they're about. They would not do it. If y'all were to try to challenge and go, hey, why don't we clear the air and let's be about some healing, bitch. Like, how about, let's just deal with this, and ask them, put it on the table and see how they squirm in your presence, how they squirm on the phone, how they start stumbling, how they start, making excuses. Well, at this point, I'm not feeling, right now, I feel like they're just so, everything that has happened already at this point, they're not going to believe me. And, so I'm just telling you, because they're not and never have been interesting in clearing no air or no kind of healing. This is why they can't just Some of you are asking, how come they can't just say sorry? How come they can't just take accountability? How come they can't just tell the truth about who they are and what they've done? Because, again, I'm going to draw it back to what I said. They're not well. Narcissists, especially if they're in malignancy of narcissism, this is something that they just can't do. Because saying that out loud is to shatter the illusion that they really want to stay living in and that they want other people to continue to live in about them. So some of you may say it shouldn't be that hard, and wouldn't this make it all different if they'll just come clean and clear, then there could be healing and This should tell you that they're not interested in healing. But they're more interested in upholding a false sense version of them that they have worked so hard to create through spell work, manipulation, and fuckery. Through projecting their toxicity on divine ones like myself. Because it's easier. And they know that most people are asleep. So they know that it's easier for people to believe that I, or people similar to yourself, would be into the fuckery versus them because they're still trying to hide. So they can't just own up because ... They can't own up they're not well. They can't do this because they're not well. They can't do this, they're not well. They can't do this, they're dark witches and warlocks. They can't. How come? Because they're dark witches and warlocks. How come they're dark witches and warlocks? How come they're dark witches and warlocks? How come they're dark witches and warlocks? They're addicted to spell work. They're addicted to spell work. And to admit this to the masses, or to admit this to those that were involved in violations and situations, would mean they can no longer walk about with their fake sense of grandeur and false sense of supremacy. This is why they get people to lie and try to fill out divine feminine. Tell her ain't talk to me. Tell them, you ain't talk to me, bitch. And then say some nice things. They can do it subliminally with their magic, or for some cases, they do it literally. Tell them you don't know me. Tell them you ain't this. Tell them you ain't seen. That should tell you right there. If somebody is telling you that, it shouldn't take no damn prayer meeting to figure out that something's off about that. I remember when I spoke with one of my great aunts, I told her, she said something, but I told her, proving who I am, basically. But I told her, because she was like, you know, I wouldn't say anything, or it's between you and me, or I'm not. And I stopped her mid-sentence and I said, I am not asking you to do any of that. Because why? First and foremost, I have nothing to hide. I'm not hiding. I'm not asking you to pretend anything. Because that, first and foremost, why do you need to get in that? And if you ain't got shit to do with it, ain't no need to be hiding shit. So I ain't asking now nobody to say none of that. In fact, say, yes, bitch, I talked to a bloomy bloom bitch, whoop-de-whoop, and whoop-whoop. And I am not asking, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my frequency. Hey, what the fuck, what for? Yes, I said, you say no, talk to no. Now, you can tell them the same thing, because why? I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding. I ain't asked none of them. Or to keep no secret. Don't tell them I said, yeah, sure. Because you ain't right. You can sing the hallelujah chorus from here until you take your last breath in 12:22. You ain't right. Messy. My bloodline is messy. Very messy. Play each other against one another. They're good for that. Then when they get burdened, you know, for a while, when they would want to reach out to me, I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't about it. I ain't trying to hear none of that. They can't ... because they're messy. They can't ... they're mentally ill. They can't ... they're dark witches and warlocks. Expecting these types of individuals to have any form of integrity, true empathy and compassion, and accountability for their personal actions towards others, not their actions of life choices. See, they get that shit convoluted too. Their conduct and behavior towards individuals. Not because they don't want to work at this place or that place. That's a life choice of their own. We're not talking about that. Their behavior and conduct. The fact that they've been lying on people for years, they're going to pay for that too. They turned everyone against me. And I became very okay with that. Because I felt like if they were dumb enough to fall for it, then they didn't have the fucking gumption and balls and shit to come to me, motherfucker, then if I had never given them no indication in their personal experience with me personally, and they were still dumb enough to fall for that shit, I'm like, because somebody said some shit, bitch. Consider the source. You better consider the source. Because they got their kids to co-sign some shit, bitch. Really, though? Because they got their scrambled-minded mother to say some shit, too. Really, though? These people, collective, it's gonna serve you to accept that they just can't ... You'll feel a lot happier and freer in life. You may hurt, you still gotta process your grief and pain like any other bleeding individual. But if you get yourself out of that rat race maze, or hoping that maybe someday you just go somewhere and sit and vegetate and wait, that maybe if they find this and that, they're not well. They have an insatiable push, okay, that they're just not gonna be happy. They do the ritual to get a motherfucker, and then they still ain't happy. So now they want to stalk and bully a motherfucker. Okay, they did other rituals to fucking get houses and money that don't belong to them, and they still fucking it. You see where I'm going? It ain't gonna matter. So stop waiting for that. Stop even wishing that. Essentially, return their fucked up energies back to them. And put the loving energy into you, because that's obviously unloving. That people can't let you go. First and foremost, they wanted to isolate you. They wanted you to feel alone. But when you embraced the alone and became that bitch, that motherfucker, then they got a problem with it, because it was always an issue. They push you away and don't want to include you, okay? Acting like they did. They never did. They only wanted to use the energy and wanted somebody to feel like they're fucking slave and funky. And they got me the fuck understood. Because it ain't going down like that. I ain't impressed by none of this illusionary shit. I long grew up past that kind of shit. They can't just ... because it ain't in them to do, okay? The best thing I can tell you is do the best you can with what you have and where you're at to heal and recover your life, and to make sure that you are uprooting yourself and removing yourself from people like that, no matter who they are and how long you've known them. Those two friends I'm mentioning, I hope for their sake, because those are two of... Now, she had quite a few high school, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers. But those two in particular, I feel deserve way better than that, man. They deserve way better than that. I'm sorry. I hope they heal where they at, wherever they are, bitch. I hope they heal. I hope they, recover everything that's been trampled through from being connected to these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I hope that they get their health, their marriages, their man. Because she wanted these people to struggle so she can look like a winner. So she can look like she won some shit. Like this was a fucking race. And those people are fucking friends, man. Collective, you guys have dealt with people like this, and I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna say is I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry they're not who you think they are. I'm sorry that the truth is they are dark witches and warlocks. I'm sorry that they are ones that were actually trying to fucking kill you, just like they were trying to kill me and my son. I'm sorry that they were willing to sacrifice you to these weirdo secret societies, acting like they're not doing it. I'm sorry that they've been investing in black magic on some of you since you were children, as it pertains to your kinfolk. Okay? While they act like they're helping you, like that movie Run. You guys should watch that movie Run. It's either on Netflix or Hulu. That is the nature of some of you all's parents. That woman in that movie. And I'm sorry if that's your story. It looks like this doiting, devoted, selfless mother that was behind her child being in the wheelchair to begin with. And trying to keep them there because her weak ass, her codependency. Try to look like something that they're not, which is divine, loving, caring beings. That's anything but the truth. I'm sorry. But please accept this, collective. You're not crazy. Stop trying to convince other people, okay? Because, you know, that'll drive you bonkers. Stop trying to convince people. Half of them are asleep. So you're talking foreign language to them. It's not going to even make sense or compute. They're just going to look at you as crazy, which is perpetuating the crazy illusion that these motherfuckers are trying to perpetuate about you to begin with. Because it ain't in your head. But you're going to have to get over needing to convince other people that it's not in your head. And call judgment and walk away. We didn't come here to live in tumultuous, tormenting, toxic ass connections. We came here to grab whatever that lesson was, heal and ascend out of there to a higher consciousness and vibration, and have healthy, loving dynamics, creating healthy, loving connections with people who are vibrationally able to do so, even if they're different than us. Because you don't have to be the copycat, you know, carbon clone version of somebody. That's their mindset. That's that narcissistic hive group control mentality. You don't have to be. It's about, are they human, bitch? Is there anything pumping through the heart, or is it just for aesthetics, bitch? Because people with pure energy, there's just some places they're not going. No matter their own struggles, their own flaws, their own mistakes, there's some places they just don't go. As disgusted as I was regarding my bloodline for the longest period of time, the entire time I never wished them ill or did any ritual work or attempted to sabotage any of their life's choices, paths, and lives. But now, I won't leave this earth realm until justice has been served. And it's as simple as that. My bloodline is a bloodline of criminals, whores, and thieves. I came here to deal with this. Criminals, con artists, hoes, liars, thieves, dark witches and warlocks. That's this hiding under a religious umbrella. That's the blood. I came here to deal with that. I came here first and foremost to heal and ascend myself out of it, to catch it, to awaken, to pick up where the ancestors prior to me left off, where they couldn't finish due to the spell work and rituals and one thing and another. that was being sent to them. The light ones are always targeted in the bloodline by the karmic fucks in the bloodline, period. They're always the strange ones. They're always the eccentric ones. They're always the different ones in the bloodline. And then they get targeted by the dark witches and warlocks, which I'm going to fucking deal with every last one of them before I die. All of them that's left, that is. And I'm talking my bloodline from both sides of the blood issue. The father, the mother. I'm talking about both. I'm dealing with all of them. As well as on my son's behalf as well. And his father. I'm dealing with they whole asses too. These are people who do not know how to heal and co-create on their own properly. Their profession is theft. Their profession is copying and pasting other people's lives. Their profession is gossip, envy, and jealousy. Their profession is spell work, dark magic, manipulation. Hold them. And then they go to church and sing the Hallelujah chorus. And this has been going on. See, this is what I'm trying to say, collective, and so it has been with you. This is some old ancient shit. They don't want that illusion to shatter, bitch. That illusion of the fuckery. The half of them, they never live a piece of nothing. Full of shit. All they good at is religion. That's that's what they good at. That's the all bitch that they can do halfway good is the man-made shit. It's the routine bitch. And that's about all she wrote. What they're not good at is dealing with their own mental illness. What they're not good at is dealing with their own true traumas. What they're not good at is honesty. What they're not good at is being an upstanding, true citizen of society. What they're not good at is being able to be accountable and apologize for their action, which is what they're going to die paying for. They can't ... Stop wanting evil to suddenly become live. Evil, I think spelled the other way, is live. They're dead. They're the walking dead. This is why they have to energy harvest. This is why they have to operate in groups to be able to feed. This is why they have to attempt to copy someone else's identity. Most of what you have suffered, collective, was more to it than meets the eye. But they wanted you to believe that it was something wrong with you. and it was them doing shit to you. Don't wait. Don't put your life on hold. Don't put your fingers in your ears and close your eyes and la 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 la. Get yourself in a safe space. Go somewhere and heal. Cut off these people and mean it, and keep it that way. Seek legal precautions and keep it that way. Because if you're waiting for the day that they're going to certainly, you know, mean what they say and respect you and do right and stop doing magic and stop, all that's not going to happen there. Okay? They'll say what you need them to say as long as they can keep you where they want you. They'll go through any lengths of appeasing you on this 3D surface base as long as it means they can keep connected to you to stall you out, to feed more, and to cause more fuckery. They'll cry and fall out on altars, at your knees, on the bed, wherever the fuck. They'll show you one piece of paper after the next. They will commence to do. My people are advanced criminals, so I'm aware of what they do. And the type of motherfuckers that they're connected to. I got their vigils too. That they didn't see coming. I got their location. I got their vigil. The moment we accept that it's just never going to make sense. As a logical person, you may need things to make sense really badly and want them to make sense. But there's some things in this earth school, if you're on an ascendant path, that's just not going to make sense. It's going to go against every natural law, and that's because these people did bend natural law. They bent universal law. Most of these people are your blood, and your blood should have been the last people doing fucked up shit to you. But they did, they are, they do. So it goes against natural law. It's like, that does not feel right. Well, yeah, well, sorry. They checked out, bitch. If we don't heal, shit is progressive. It's like, it's anything in life. You just become an old, broken motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's how this shit works. Now this shit is deeply ingrained, bitch, because this has been ruminating, you know what I'm saying, in the subconscious, and then you'll get down for 75,000 years, bitches. It's now you just got that old wound healing, you know what I'm saying, bitch. They can't. And if you're, you know, in your life, you're trying to get help, and, you know, I had to learn this stuff before I left Sodom. And I learned some of it since I've been here, but before I left Sodom and Gomorrah, man, I know what it's like to be going about trying to seek help. And it's like you run into one dizzy nut after the next. You know what I'm saying? You get excited, be like, ooh, I found it, and be like, oh, bitch. Because they tap into your energy, then next thing you know, they're triggered, and then they want to do some fuckery because they can sense the goddess energy. And then here we go. Now they want to typecast you and try to put you in some kind of category and try to feed off you and use your energy, but at the same time, trying to make you stay. I don't think so. They're on my list as well. They're on my list. Because I have something special for them. because these are supposed to be people on this kind of a journey or in the spiritual arena. I'm asking my team, whatever claws, bitch, and the ethers, bitch, I really want something for them, especially. They should fucking know better. If you're going around acting like you're on an ascension path and you're a healer, Joe Schmo Smo, since 1975, you should fucking know better. You should be able to sense when your own ego is getting the best of you and go on in there and do you some little bit more unraveling and some little more with some shit, what we do on this journey, bitch. Not get all your feathers in a thither and all of a sudden, bitch, the goddess, one fucking Wonder Woman, walk in your store and shit. If she allows her Wonder Woman versus her Diana energy, or her Clarita Clark energy versus her Supergirl energy. If she come in there with that goddess energy, here you go. Everybody, they just start fluffing up, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's insane. Instead of looking at shit like, wow, why is that intimidating, right? See, these are the questions. How come they ... I have to swallow all of this. Why? Why is that a problem? So because I allow a glimpse of goddess energy to come through, it means that then they're not, or that they're less than, or that they're not good. You know, what is with that mindset? Poverty mentality. It's a curse. It's a mindset, even with people who got money. Because if you're not in that frequency, I promise you, you're not threatened. And you don't feel like you don't have to minimize somebody because you can feel a big energy come in your soul, bitch. Because somebody, it's a benefit. Hello. It's here to serve the collective consciousness. It's not a threat. Hello. Ooh, they gonna take my customers. See, that's your problem right there. That's his exposure right there, bitch. So let me undermine them. Let me, you know what I'm saying, in a sneaky, passive, aggressive, covert way. Let me stalk and steal, act like I'm not doing it. When I accepted, because I asked all these questions, I'm doing all this, you guys, because this is all the many shits that I kept saying to. How come they can't just ... People who have opted out, or should I say plateaued out of their journey of constant unraveling, and they got to that plateau and figured because they're shaman so-and-so and their master so-and-so and they got all the Reikis and all of the, you know, brain this and NPL that and all of it, but they opted out of understanding that as long as we are attached to the physicality in this body, in this earth school, there's going to be even deeper unravelings about themselves needing transformation. It doesn't stop. If there's any hidden subconscious racism, their journey is to be able to deal with that. Even if they're fancying it up for the 3D because of certain laws, you see. If there was any sexism there and discrimination, their journey is to deal with that. No matter how much they're covering it up in the 3D because of laws. And because of wanting to appear like decent humans. A decent human is not going to be willfully doing things to other people out of the sheer energy of you feel threatened and you're jealous and envious. Out of the sheer energy of greed. That should have been your first indication that something wasn't quite right with your own energy. Ooh, let me sabotage this reader, bitch, and challenge them because, you know, they don't say the prayer. Why the fuck are you even there and trying to critique someone else's shit? Is it perhaps you're threatened? Why is that? We're called to deal with it. Divine beings deal with their wounds and their traumas and their ego. They know how. They ascend. This is what true ascension is all about. It's not about it's hashtag woke, hashtag trending, hashtag doing it because everybody else is. Yoga union, meaning you're constantly dealing with this. You're not just sitting on the Reiki mat or the bitch, the pillow bitch. You are introspective constantly. Like, why does it bother me that somebody else got a big personality? That shouldn't bother me. If this person hasn't done nothing to me, it should not bother me that they have a big personality. It shouldn't bother me not the least bit. So I need to look at why it's bothering me. I shouldn't feel worried and concerned about my business. I've gotten this far. Okay, obviously I talk about being a creator and a master and a manifester. Why does it bother me about somebody else's possibilities of becoming great with their soul signed up for? A part of their path, a part of their birthright. Why does that bother me? Some people had their storefronts and that's what it was about for them, and that's great. But then get bothered by somebody that's meant to be global on the net for whatever reason. Maybe that's the contract. And see, this is what I'm saying. People don't have that capacity. It's like that could be this person's contract, their soul contract. You don't know why you're getting your chonies and up in the bunch and shit, thinking you are entitled, you should have. No, the fuck not, bitch. You don't know what these people's souls have gone through into this carnation for this to be set up in the blueprint to manifest in that manner. Why is there a comparison to begin with? There's another soul issue. Why is there an unhealthy comparison there to start? Ooh, I want that item. Ooh, they did this. Ooh, they did that. Ooh, they did that. Or can you go somewhere and alone and get your own guidance without copying and pasting? And I'm not talking about the ways in which we all, I don't really agree. Some people say there's no original. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. I'm not talking about how we all gleaning and learning, okay? But I'm talking about individuals who their life is about copying. Do you understand the difference? Happenstance, where you're sitting somewhere and you glean something, but your vibrations and or intention isn't that you went and watched that and now all of a sudden you're trying to go sit your ass somewhere and acting like you didn't came up with it, and you didn't. Or with the full intention of knowing full well what you're doing, knowing that you're not getting any guidance, but just going somewhere, sitting and watching something, and then with that in mind, then deciding and living a life of that off of divine beings who are actually doing the journey continually. People that is surrendered to their own personal north nodes. And then be mad when revenue starts to decline. Visitors start to decline. Customers start to decline. Whatever eventually starts to catch up. Because was there perhaps fraud and thievery? Was there perhaps hexes on other readers or other masters because you felt threatened? Is that perhaps why? Is it perhaps you have a secret dark witch and warlock coven that you hide? Is that perhaps why? That you tried to poison a light one? Is that why? With your session, with your food or whatever you brought into your circle and shit, is that perhaps why? When I accepted, and as I was trying to go about everywhere to look for help, I knew that my people were putting hexes and curses on others to also have them to not work with me, okay, properly here. I was aware of that too. But I realized how far deep in Sodom and Gomorrah is one of the reasons why I got away there. It's the breeding ground for fuckery. It's the breeding ground for illusion and dark rituals. And when I figured out that my people had way too many connections with way too many disturbed souls there, this is why they wanted me there to begin with. So that they can send their henchmen to do their works when they themselves couldn't get near me. Or they knew they would be too easily identified. When you stop and start asking, going within, I recommend, look, do some searching online on your own in a private way and ask for guidance to the type of help you may be needing. That's what I really recommend, especially if you're in a place like Sodom and Gomorrah, Las Vegas, Nevada. Because they got a reader on every corner out there. Okay? They got a reading on every corner. They got a fucking, you know what I'm saying? All that shit is prevalent, but not all of it. I'm telling you what I know. If they know too many people, then if they hear your name or a counterpart's name, then it's going to change. People going to start bending shit in a different direction. So I recommend that, listen, if you need help, go online. That's the good thing about technology, but ask for guidance as you are online and search for something that is outside of your, immediate area. Try to, feel out people's energies or something like that, even if you're unclear about it. Because some of these people, they just have these certificates and these skills, but when people are in that fear and ego-based mindset, that is a survivalist mindset, which means they will be in that sympathetic functionality of their nervous system, which means that they are subject to act like an animal. What do animals do? It's survival of the fittest. It's what we all came here programmed with in order to survive some really harsh, heinous situations. But when people still hold that frequency and they're just Reiki master, or they're just pastor so-and-so, or now they're just medium, psychic, whoever, if they're still in that frequency, they are subject, like anybody else, to attempting to sabotage anyone's energy that they feel may be a threat to them and their survival. So that means they're going to what? Have lack of spiritual, energetic integrity and ethics. Because spiritual and energy, integrity and ethics will cause one to uphold something. No matter, their own personal insecurity. Would cause someone to uphold that. Like, I will operate in integrity. I'm being triggered, I'm being this, or for whatever reason, but I will uphold energetic ethics here. What's for me is for me. I'm going to have to work through this, but I'm not about to be passive aggressive here. I'm not going to try to undermine this person. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out how I can capitalize off this person without them knowing it while trying to keep them small. That is a mental problem. That is an insecurity. That is some deep-rooted things that's needing further review. Let go of trying to get people to understand and find vindication, validation. People who aren't on ascended journeys or real twin flame journeys, even if they are calling themselves on an ascended journey and twin flame journey. But people who are not really on that journey, then they don't really even understand the whole dynamics behind all of that. They're going to say some shit about law and attraction and bloody whoopty blue blue. And that's in part truth. That's not entirely. There is a such thing of energy manipulation. And when we are still sleeping in our traumas, we still drawing things from that. Okay, but that has nothing to do with, like, essentially you deserve. No. And I'm sorry, I know I'm all over the place, but I'm hoping that you guys could just pull bits and pieces of what I'm saying, because that sitting that you do in these phases of how come they can't just ... How come they can't just ... How come they can't just ... Searching for something to make sense that's never going to make sense. And that is a challenge. I get that. So that's why I'm asking you all to pour more love on yourself. If you can redirect all that love, care, and compassion, you can cry, write it out, be angry. If you seek professional help, you feel guided to do that. Whatever it is that you're being guided in the highest loving way possible for you. But it's never going to make sense. And then if it helps you, ask yourself, does it make sense for somebody to go about and murder some innocent children? But it does happen though, right? It does happen. But there is no rhyme or logic or reasoning to that that's going to help you to feel better. Okay? Does those things happen? They do. But hopefully you don't let yourself stay in these kinds of situations. You can't do nothing about other people. And whether or not you can convince your daddy and your this one and that one. Because see, chances are you may not even know that they're connected to the fuckery to begin with. So while you're trying to talk to them, it's meant to not make sense, because it was a part of the whole crazy making shenanigans to make you question your reality. That trauma bonding, start watching videos to assist you with trauma bonding, okay? Because that's a real thing. Deal with the trauma bonding that you got going on. Deal with the Stockholm syndrome shit that you have going on. Ask for assistance with removing yourself to clear dark magic, putting up boundaries, healing those trauma bonds. Because that's what these type of people do. Keep you in the addiction, especially if you have an addictive personality type. Keep you in the high and lows. I call it the Ike and the Tina. They do the Ike and Tina on you. Keep you in the highs and the lows constantly. They're conditioning your brain to think that that's normal. Ike whoops Tina's ass and buy her a ball gown the next day. That kind of energy. Bust the hoe's nose and then bring her 12 stem roses tomorrow. I know those are extreme versions, but it applies to all of it. People that are toxic and malicious and keep you in these toxic cycles, and then go buy you a ball gown, bitch, to tell you how much they love you. I just love you so much, and have you taken on blame for their toxicity like Tina did, until she decided to wake up, heal in the sand, and get the fuck out of there as well. You know, he's so stressed out. I shouldn't have. Really? So you're really making excuses for this nigga? Done busted you across your head a good 5 times. And you sitting here talking about he's so stressed. That's trauma bonding. That's the trauma. That's the abuse. That's the conditioning. That's the Stockholm syndrome. A result of narcissistic abuse. I should have just left him alone. No, you should have clocked his whole ass and asked him how he like it, bitch. And then go call the police afterwards, bitch. I should have just known. Oh, I should have just not said anything. I should have just been quiet. Really? Is that the kind of life you want to live? Where you can't say anything? That should be your indication there's abuse there. You can't tell somebody that they treating you poorly. You have to sit there and take it. Okay, yeah, that's problems. They can't just ... All you can do is heal and move on. And mean it. But they're not, bullies don't go away. We have to face that shadow energy. Okay? Appeasing them, making excuses for them, keeping their secrets, vows of silence. That's not going to stop anything. Their fuckery continues until they self-destruct. And until you stand up and mean it. You have to stand up and mean it. No more excuses for these types of people. I don't care if they're your mama, your daddy, the church motherfuckers, I don't care who these people are. No more excuses for them. No more lying for them. No more covering up for them. No more financing them. You have to be done. No more even showing empathy. That's their feed. That's their supply. You have to be done with that. And you just move on. I'm not saying that you guys have to go. You don't want to start stalking them or do. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying you take legal precaution for your life. You remove your life. You put up boundaries. You mean it. You return to sender ritual work. You ask your guidance team to help you to heal and clear and cleanse from all of that. You put up boundaries. You speak truth. You do not keep these people's secrets. That's their power. This is why they bully, threaten, like Respucia in Norbit. Okay? She was a desperate hoe and didn't want to let Norbit go. She didn't love Norbit. She abused Norbit. She mistreated Norbit, but she still didn't want to let him go. Okay? And when she found out who he was in love with, she threatened that person with the potato and the acid, and she stood outside or in front of Norbit saying, if you even think about this little thing, and if you even talk to them, this little thing, and, you know, booty woo. And that's the nature of these type of people. But until he stood up to her, he was under that control. Until he took his power back and said, man, I ain't staying in this damn basement. And I ain't going to keep silent. I'm going to stand up for mine, and I'm going to take these motherfuckers down come hell or hot water, bitch. I ain't going to stay silent, bitch. I'm not going to stay away from Kate. I'm not going to do none of that. You can threaten all you want. Until he took his power back and stood up, then Respucia remained having control over him. And that's how we have to look at this kind of shit too. Until we stand up, speak the truth, own the truth, mean the truth, stop playing games, stop making excuses, stop being afraid, being willing to step out like Norbit was scared because he hadn't lived on his own. Those were all the people he knew. That's all he had. But he had to step up. And that's how we have to look at life, okay, when it comes to this shit. They can't just ... but you can. They can't just ... but you can stand up and speak the truth and put up some boundaries. No matter who don't believe you and how they're crazy making you to the world and the masses. You can remove your life. You can choose to. You can start anew. You can begin again from scratch and not give a fuck about who he and ha, and they wasn't for you anyway. Let that kind of behavior show you who's who. Let it reveal to you who's body versus the motherfuckers, the clout chasers. Okay? Because half of them codependent on each other. Most of these motherfuckers, let's see if they stand absolutely alone and see how that works for them. With nobody, no social security number that they can steal, bitch, and purchase. Let's see how that works. Without somebody that they, you know, could do a spell to finance them and shit, bitch. Let's see how this works. Let's see how fancy schmancy they live and they all fall down. Ring around the rosy, their education toesies, jobs, money. It all falls down. Let's see. You can begin again and start from scratch, and I promise you, you're going to feel a whole lot better for it. No matter how small or humble beginnings, you're going to promise you're going to feel a whole lot better for it. You're going to feel stronger for it. You're going to feel like I ain't got to kiss nobody's ass or let somebody touch me that I don't want touching me. I ain't got to fucking put up with hearing somebody's tired ass voice that I don't want to deal with. I ain't got to blah, blah, blah. And I ain't got to this and I ain't got to that. Somebody in my ear because they gave my son $50, bitch. Or somebody in my ear because they gave, bitch, then don't do it, bitch. Deuce, bitch. Poof. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get into the zone where it's like good. Because now I ain't got nobody hoovering around me talking about, I gave you this, I gave you that, I did that, and I did that. Say, fuck it, take all your shit. Now leave me alone, because now if you don't leave me alone, I'll make you pay for it. Masculine, if you're here, you have a right to do that. Just like divine feminine. That's a part of your goddess, God energy. You can renounce any contracts and vows of low frequencies that you have had with these types of people. and ask for healing, forgiveness, ascension, whatever it is you need to do with your team. But they will step in as they see you mean business. That's the best thing I can offer you guys on that. Not attempts to go from one karmic or toxic bounce to the next, to the next, to the next. It's like, mean it. Mean your ascension. Heal and transform, and you'll be fine. But letting go of this, how come? Because you're going to go berserk. Now, what will become illuminated to you when you get deeper in the healing is that even though it doesn't make sense, it makes sense. Because now the fog is going to be off of your mind. The scales are going to be off of your chakras, those overlays, implants, the illusion, the fog, confusion, all of that shit. Once that clears up more and more and more, and you surrender to your journey, even though it don't make sense, it's going to now make sense. Like, yes, this is indeed crazy, but I see why though. I see why the fight was so hard. I see why it was such incessant attempts to hurt and sabotage me, because I'm that motherfucker. I came here on some deep shit. Now I get it. It had nothing to do with I was a good lay, or I was handsome, or I was pretty, and I was this, and it had nothing to do with that. It was actually beyond anything in this 3D. It was beyond any of that. They played into that to fluff me up, but it was never even about that. And you're going to be strong. You're going to feel strong. Okay? You'll start feeling less like you old motherfuckers. Because see, people in that frequency, the shit, these communal narcissists, it's a frequency of obligating you to some shit. Even if they try to say, oh, no, you don't owe me anything. Yes, you do. Yes, the fuck, bitch. Yes, the fuck. So say that shit too, toots. They expect to be able to have a voice in your life, a footing, a control of what you do and don't do. Okay? Yeah, dude. That's that communal narc. Yeah, they'll do it for you. Sure. Okay? But you lose yourself in that, and then you feel like you're stuck. Be willing to go it alone, y'all, for a while. Don't be afraid of that. These people are afraid of that. I'm telling you, they can't handle true isolation. This is why they gotta operate in groups. They can't handle it. Don't be afraid of that. You'll find you're not alone, by the way. You're actually not alone. You'll tap into the higher self. You'll tap in, you know what I'm saying? And you'll discover this. They don't want you to find that out. Until you're able to manifest your way through the fuckery, I highly recommend going in isolation. Meaning, look, I don't need no friend, bitch. No, thank you. I want to go to Starbucks, bitch. Because see, they going to send all kind of motherfuckers, I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I know, man. Like, no, I don't want the Starbucks, bitch. I don't want here Sally Sue Slut. Here she come. I want to take your sandwich home. I don't want your sandwich, bitch. Look. The homie, here he come. No, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to go to the park. Let me go to the park by myself. This is the same, bitch. I'm finna draw, play the guitar, bitch. I'm finna do something like that shit. All the shit I should have been doing rather than fucking around with y'all stinks asses. I'm fencing to fucking sit somewhere, bitch, and go in and see what's bothering me, heal, return to sender, create some worthwhile shit, and stop worrying about Sally Sue Slut sending me a nudie pic. or vice versa. I'm going to go somewhere and be a productive adult citizen of society. I'm going to focus on my healing, on my transformation. I'm going to focus on my independence so that I ain't got to deal with your stank ass. I don't want to deal with you. No, thank you. I don't want to share. I don't even want to roommate with you, bitch. Roommate, no, thank you. Because last time I tried to share, bitch, I don't want a roommate, bitch. I don't want none. I want to go halvesies. No, because now you're trying to get me legally caught up in some shit. Bye. I'm done with you. I'm done. Now you're trying to get me in a situation where you're a squatting hole. I don't want to deal with that. Now I got to deal with the law and shit because it's 30 days if they motherfucker was, you know what I'm saying? People that that crazy shit, y'all. Look, I know it's tough, but you'll be the better and the greater for it. Better to suffer for your growth and ascension than to suffer for descending. It's better to suffer for that versus suffering for a 5-minute nut. And your favorite taco from Taco Bell. It's better to suffer for that than to suffer from one too many blows after the next. One too many bits of poison in your drink. One too many brothels and brawls. Okay, that may be the final one. Behind these motherfuckers. Or going to jail, ending up on that clank because messing around with bad news Charlies. On that clank, that's criminals. That's all they know how to do is be criminals and shit, bitch. That's all they good for. Doing drugs and criminals. Doing drugs. Fucking and stealing. All right. This was longer than I expected, but maybe I'll upload these two on the YouTube for you all tonight so that way y'all can play with it, you know, bounce back and forth between and grab whatever you feel like is for you. Okay. They can't just let go. And if that's what you've been waiting for, you have wasted your time. They can't just be real. Something that's not real can't be real. You're wasting your time. They're not going to just eventually go away and find happiness. Their happiness is not going to be complete till they feel like they can destroy you. So it serves you to get the fuck away from them. They have been sabotaging and plotting this entire time. And using everything at their disposal to do so. Unfortunately, these people use children. And for that, you guys, I'm sorry for those of you got caught up and trapped in that kind of shit with people that's using little Sally Sue and little, you know, little Pookie and whoever else to come snot nose crying and, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole nother level of fucked up. But you still got to do what you got to do, just like Trinity had to in this last Matrix. She had to do what she had to do for her awakening and ascension. And realize that that motherfucker was serving to keep her asleep and stuck. And they used her bent to do it. Her bent in leaning towards the white picket fence and the 2 kids and dog and soccer games. To keep her not embracing who she really was. And that's something that nobody can make you do. I can't. There's no one that can make any of us do that. Neo had to let her choose. That's the way this goes. You choose your life. You choose your path. Now, unlike Neo in that movie, Collective, you that motherfucker. they gonna still die fucking with you. Those sleep ones and them agents and all that shit. They gonna go down regardless, bitch. If you stay in position, right, you know, with your path and your team and shit. But in terms of, you know, that dynamic Neo Trinity, this shit is a choice. But it comes with a price. She had, if she would have denied herself, she would have stayed locked into the matrix and unhappy and unfulfilled and God knows what else. But as she ascends, she steps into her power and she becomes that bitch, that motherfucker. That can snap her finger, boom. Oh, bitch. You know, they should have left me alone. They should have did that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Work towards that energy, y'all. Heal and keep healing to work towards that kind of dynamic. So that motherfuckers will learn the easy way or the hard way. You heard me? That they can keep on with their fuckery, but it's going to come with a great price to pay. You heard me? Because I mean business. Collective, you should too. Because unlike them, you were able to just ... Okay? You were able to ... go on. They were not able to leave you alone. You were able to leave these people alone. They were not able to leave you alone with fucking with you. And because of that, keep healing, keep doing your transformation. Okay? And return it to sender so they'll know it as a sign. Up until their last breath. That, yeah, they have a free will. They can keep at it and they're going to keep paying. And some of them, it's going to be an accumulation of it at one time. Because it's been slow in the making. They have been slowly hanging themselves. And they have had all sorts of false victories and shallow victories to lead them to the grand finale. The accumulation of all of their spell work, the accumulation of all their theft, the accumulation of all their sabotaging, the accumulation of all of it, their lies, the accumulation of their smear campaigns, the accumulation of everything they did at once. At once. 12, 22.